Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Dogger Football channel, where it is time for another match week predictions video. And I have a debutant on the channel tonight. Now, obviously, you'll obviously know James from Sweet and Sour Soccer.
Yeah.
This is the other half of Sweet and Sour Soccer, Scott Lavender. How are you, Scott?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. And to be fair, I always love your intro. It's always one that it gets you going, it gets you ready. That's quite a nice upbeat. But yeah, I'm very good. Looking forward to this, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And life as a Wolves fan must be very, very good for you guys at the moment.
It is. It is. Not a brilliant start to the season. Obviously, we're playing probably the best football that I'd seen, full stop, probably, as a Wolves fan. Just not getting the results, but it's kind of turned around a bit now. We're getting the results and we're all dreaming of potential European football. We're the outsiders for it, but I think you've got a dream.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let's say hello to a few people because I have seen there are a few. Helen, ready as always. I did see that. Hello to Reese Woods. Thank you for tuning in. Helen saying hello to Reese. Great time in. Just finished dinner. Fantastic. Hello, Chris Welsh. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're both well. I am tickety boo, my friend. Absolutely tickety boo. And looking forward to match week 23. Last time out against Chris of Leicester Till I Die, it was a draw. We had one perfect score each and then 3 outcomes. So it's going to be a very, very interesting week ahead. We have some big games both at the bottom and the top of the table. And obviously the first game to preview and predict, I mean, if anyone called this a 6-pointer, I wouldn't be too surprised if anybody called this a 6-pointer. Watford against Norwich City. 4 wins to Norwich, 1 win to Norwich in the last 5 meetings. 2-1 win to Watford was the last meeting. Watford getting a very, very good result, 1-1 away Newcastle. Norwich beating Everton, which was a big surprise, but maybe not in the circumstance of obviously them having Benitez and obviously him going as well. What have you made of both teams this season? Because I think this is a really, really hard one to call, because had Norwich lost to Everton, I would be saying bank a home win, Watford would win this. It's a little bit different now about that.
It is, and I feel like it's one of them, especially with like Norwich City, obviously. Like they could, I feel frustrated for their fans, and I'm not a Norwich fan, because they just seem to come up. They come up. They don't ever do that much to even try and stay up. Like I can't remember them ever going out and going on a spending spree. I know sometimes that isn't required, but they just don't seem to refresh the squad that much. And then they kind of have a go at it and then go straight back down. And it's like, oh my God, it's just like, and it looks like it's going to be the same story, doesn't it, Doug? Don't you think? I mean,
yeah.
I have to say, I think there's probably 4 teams that could go down, and I think obviously 3 of those will. I don't see Norwich being the one that escape it. I really don't.
No, I'm in absolute agreement. So, how do you see this this one going? This is a Friday night game. So big game. Could determine who goes down, who determines who stays up. What are you going for?
Do you know what? I saw Chris put 2-0 Watford, and I'm actually going to completely agree with Chris in the comments. I think it will be 2-0 Watford. Watford have been doing some business quietly as well. I think they've already made 4 signings. They've got a 5th coming in. Speedy, skillful winger from Bordeaux, actually. I think he's going to be signed tomorrow, so I think he should be available for selection. Bit of a super sub at Bordeaux, bit of an impact player. So that's another thing that they're adding. They've added a bit of experience as well. And yeah, I think Watford will win this one 2-0. I do think so.
2-0. I've gone 2-1 Watford. I have a. Do you know when Norwich actually beat Everton? Before obviously I always write these out with like a week to go. And I always said, to me, I would say 2-0 Watford. But now I just think Watford don't keep clean sheets. I don't think they've kept a clean sheet this season. I think they maybe have kept maybe 1 clean sheet all season. But yeah, I'm going to go 2-1. I think there's players for Norwich that can really hurt Watford. So I am going 2-1 to Watford. So we'll see how any guys, what you are saying. Chris is saying 2-0 Watford. Oh, look who's turned up.
I don't know why he's not asleep. I mean, it's literally 2 a.m. where he is at the moment. He should be.
It's at 2 a.m.
Get to bed,
James,
James.
James, good morning.
Yeah,
I hope you're doing well, mate, and I will have you on at some point. Basically, when it's not 7 p.m. here and when it's not 2 a.m. where you are. So yeah, hope you're good, and I hope you if you are going to sleep, then hope you are okay as well. Norwich goal difference is a killer for them. Why I think they won't stay up, in my opinion. Yeah, they hardly score. I think that was the 10th goal of the season at the weekend as well, which is crazy. I think it should be a Watford win and condemn Norwich to the Championship, says Helen. Her sister's I think it's her sister's a Watford fan as well.
okay.
Reece was going for a 1-0 win to Norwich.
You can see why after the win, after the Everton, what happened, obviously the win against Everton, I think Norwich are going to be going in with a bit of confidence. There was obviously rumours Cantwell was going as well. They've looked to have kept him. You would think this January transfer window now, but yeah.
Definitely. Good evening. Good evening, Shane. He's going for 2-1 Watford, so the same as me. Helen Raybold is going 2-0 to Watford, so same as Scott. Dennis to score. Yeah. I don't know if you've been watching AFCON, Scott, but are you surprised Dennis isn't in the Nigerian squad?
I mean, that's been a bit of a talking subject, hasn't it? That, I mean, so I think reading into it, the more I read into it, apparently Watford have they didn't actually break any rules, did they? Because I think it was actually it was a Nigerian squad that declared, like, tried to pick him for selection too late. But it is in a bit of bad taste, you would have to say, and I'm sure they haven't gained any, let's say, any Nigerian fans in the process. But yeah, it is a shame. I think, you know, you'd like to have seen them gift him, but if it keeps them up, it saves them 100 million. So you can see why they've done it.
Very true. Very, very true as well. I think Watford will stay up, in my opinion. Maybe that's just me. They got goals in their team, but do concede. Yeah, they do. They do. I just think when you're at Watford, you have the axe over your head. Yeah. Basically, like, just like 3, 4, 5, 6 bad results later, you get the sack. It's just the part and parcel of being a Watford fan, unfortunately. Hello to Liz Golden. Thank you for tuning in. I fancy Watford to keep a clean sheet against Norwich, in my opinion. Well, if there's no better time to keep a clean sheet, it would be this game, for absolutely sure. I'm saying hello to Liz. Liz going for a 2-1 win to Watford. I'm drunk.
Yeah, James's boss has apparently brought him a few whiskies, so that's probably why he's still up at this time. And
I see. Well, thanks for tuning in, James. Anyone beats Everton at the moment, let's be honest. Yeah, 100%. Even Sunday League team beats Everton. Yep, absolutely. Harrison Crane, thank you for tuning in. 2-1 Watford. So everyone's going for a 2-1 win to Watford. Hello to Aziz Hamad on Twitch. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, my lovely sister is a season ticket holder of Watford. Well, Watford will score. Dennis will ghost Norwich. So bit of a mixed bag in there. We are all Brentford tonight. 100%. 100%. Yeah, they play Manchester United, I think at 8 o'clock, actually. And I know that there are a few Leicester fans in here. They're playing Tottenham, I think, at 7:30.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we shall see anyway. But the next game, and it's all changed at Everton once again. Rafael Benitez has been sacked as Everton manager, and big Duncan Ferguson back in charge. And Steven Gerrard going to a place where he absolutely loved as a player. He is going there as a manager now too. He's going there as a manager now for Aston Villa. I have to be honest, I can only see this one way this is going. I know people will say new managerial bounce, but I thought Aston Villa were absolutely superb against Manchester United. Very unlucky not to win. So I can't see anything changing for Everton. I'm going 2-0 Aston Villa.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to be one of those people that goes new manager, because I think the way that Big Dunk came in last time, he lifted not only the players, he lifted the fans, and I think he'll do it once again. I think he'll just lift the atmosphere. I think if this was the reverse fixture and Aston Villa are at home, I think I'd probably agree with you, but I think when you consider that Everton are at home, I think just the whole factor that Big Dunk's going to be in charge, the fans love him. He gets the players behind them as well, And I think for once, probably for the first time this season, I think there'll be like a cohesion about Everton Football Club. I'm not going to go for an Everton win, but I am going to go out there and say 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go against the crowd because I can see everyone saying Aston Villa, and you can't blame everyone. But I've just got, do you know when you've just got a feeling? I just feel like the return of Big Dunk, obviously as the number one, so to speak. It's just going to give them a lift.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you did a video previously on Everton managers. Are you surprised Roberto Martinez is linked? Because I remember Everton fans wanted Roberto Martinez out of the club. So why are you going back for a manager that was treated so badly, was sacked by Everton to begin with? They say he should never go back. Why are Everton suddenly looking at Roberto Martinez again? Is that board just do not know what they're doing, or what do you think?
I feel the board don't really, they don't consider the main thing, and that's the fans. Like, you've got to consider what the fans are thinking, and maybe for them, they feel it'd be a good appointment. He's done reasonably okay at Belgium, hasn't he? Obviously has experience. He's been linked to other Premier League clubs before, but I just feel it's one of them. They've just not listened to the fans. None of the fans are going to want Martinez in. And yeah, just the whole link in general surprised me. What are they going to do next? Will Koeman be next after Martinez? Bring Ronald Koeman. Big Sam, is he going to make a return?
I know, it's just crazy. I did get that right. Yeah, let's see what some of you are saying for this game. I'm going 2-0 Villa and Scott's going 1-1. Well, it was never going to work. No, absolutely not. I think we both. I think I said at the start of the season I didn't see Benitez lasting at Everton.
Yeah, definitely. It was only ever going to work if they got off to an absolute flyer, and I'm not even just talking mid-table. Like, it would have had to take them heading towards back to Europe to make it work, and obviously that didn't happen. It's no surprise it's gone, is it really?
Yeah, absolutely. Harrison Crane going 2-0 Aston Villa, so the same as me. Yes, Helen. I have to say, if that happens, Gerrard has got some pulling power at Aston Villa. I mean, he's getting banked by Christian Purslow. He's got Coutinho. He's got Digne. Imagine getting Luis Suarez in there. I mean, he's reuniting the old Liverpool team. I think that'd be great. He's obviously coming to the end of his career. He obviously has said he would like to return to the Premier League. So maybe I think it'd be a fantastic move for
He's
Villa.
Actually rejected a few offers as well, because he's actually said he's waiting for Villa, not just the Premier League. He's waiting for Villa. Apparently, Gerrard's had a conversation with him as well. I'm sure he did the exact same with Coutinho. And as you say, he's probably on the phone going, "Come on, let's get the band back together and make some magic happen."
Yeah, absolutely. Liz Golden go for a 3-1 win to Aston Villa. Very interesting. Reese going 2-0 to Villa. Shane going 2-1 Villa. Helen going 3-0 Villa. Wow. That would be something. Chris Welsh saying Everton 2, Aston Villa 1. New manager impact. Duncan takes no nonsense. He'd be kicking their backsides at training ground. Trust me. Yeah. I think Duncan Ferguson is a very, very good option for now, at least. Interim manager for just now. Toffees are poor this season. That's an understatement, if ever I saw one. 0-0 Egypt, Sudan. Yes, keep me updated. Nigeria, Guinea-Bissau, and Egypt, Sudan is being played at the moment. Can't believe I'm going Everton win. Duncan is good for the short term, but not permanent, in my opinion. I think that's fair enough for you saying that, for sure. Hello to 23 Duff as well. Big Ferguson should have got the job, not Rafa. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's a full-time manager. Maybe to come in, and maybe as a number 2, he's very, very good. But as a number 1, maybe not. Martinez manager of Wigan for a reason. Just saying.
That's true. That is a good point. I think with Ferguson, obviously, he has learned, although they ultimately haven't worked under Everton, he has learnt off a whole host of different managers now, managers with a lot of experience. And think a lot of Everton fans wouldn't mind seeing him be given a chance at least. I mean, he can't do any worse than what Rafa's done, for instance. At what 16th is it in the Prem at the moment? Everton with that squad should be nowhere near there, should they? Really?
100% agree. Yeah, I don't see why. I don't see why they should be as well. Hi, Finley. Everton are a hot mess right now. Is actually getting sad. Yeah. Cheers, Finley. You too. Rafa, always welcome for dinner. Wonderful man. Yeah, absolutely. I think Luke and Chris are having a bit of a darts conversation in there. It's nice. So as interest has ended, apparently. Interesting. Rafa's Reg through and through. He's a legend. Maybe he can take the job of the LFC left in the academy, I think. Yeah, I don't know about that. 3-2 Aston Villa. Interesting. Evening, Brian. Thank you for tuning in as well. Agreed, Liz. I subbed to your channel last night. Chris says, Luke Finley. Oh my God, I'm getting names mixed up anyway. But we will move on. We will move on to the next game. And as I did say, my esteemed guest to my right is a Wolves supporter,
yes.
and they're having a very good season so far. Now, the last time, obviously, I spoke to yourself and James was a wee while ago, and this would have been obviously on Sweet&Sour Soccer. And you said something very, very good. You actually thought, give Bruno time, Wolves will do good. My, you're sitting almost in the top half right now. Where is the target for Wolves this season?
Oh, this season, top half. I think realistically, top half. We are dreaming of a potential top 7. It's looking like it could be a possibility. We've got Pedro Neto to return as well. Yeah. But I think the top 10 would be an absolutely unreal season. I think next season we're going to have some money to spend. Financial fair play has held us back this one. But if we could carry on pushing on, we've got a bit of momentum at the moment. We're pulling off some good results. Football's for dreaming, isn't it? And at the moment, I think there is a bit of a buzz around the place, and we really do believe that, the teams above us aren't looking too stable, really. So why not have a go and see what can happen?
Tell me, there's someone. Is it Chiquinho? Am I right in saying? Is he going to be signing?
He has, so he has signed. I can't pretend that I know an awful lot about him, but from what kind of being heard within the club, they're hoping it's going to be a next Pedro Neto. Really, no one's really heard of him. No one had heard of Neto really when he signed. 3.5 million, I believe it is, maybe 4.5, but we've brought him for 21 years of age. Obviously Portuguese, we're Portugal FC. But I think there's a lot of buzz around him, and I think potentially he'll be possibly loaned out in January, just even though we've just signed him. But the idea is hopefully long term he'll be a cheap signing to replace Adama Traore, from what's being said within the club.
Yeah, definitely. I must ask you this, because last week against Southampton, everyone was saying that this has got 1-0 written all over it, 1-1 or 1-0 Southampton. Was that the best performance under Bruno Lage, do you think?
It was the most clinical. I'd say it was the most clinical. We scored 3 goals despite we're the better team, but I've seen us create a lot more. And I think Ruben Neves obviously weren't available for that game, having COVID. And that really did show. And I think it does show that if there's one place we're a little bit weak and you'd want someone to come in, it would be a centre mid position. It was great news for Totti Gomez, who got his first start for the club. And that's what I think Wolves are hoping to do. We've spent a hell of a lot of money on academy players. We're continuing to do so. For example, the lad Chiquinho that we've just spent money on. The idea is we're going to sign young talent cheap and hopefully bring them through the academy and get them playing the Wolves way, and not have to spend hundreds of millions to get for everyone up the table. So it was a clinical performance. It probably wasn't our best, but that's really probably better than having the game of your life and coming away with no points on the board.
Yeah, quite interestingly that you actually did a video the next day, you did a video when you actually came home, and you said you'd actually drank a few drinks at the football.
I think we got to the pub. It was our first Saturday 3 o'clocker in I think since early November, I think it was our
Oh,
first
wow.
Saturday free. Yeah, we've just not had Saturday 3 o'clock. So needless to say, we're in the pub by 11 because we went to McDonald's just before, and I remember McDonald's breakfast was still on, so that shows it was before 11. And yeah, let's just say a few beers, and actually moved on to shots towards the end. We consumed before the game.
Gosh. that's when you know it's a very, very good a good night. Obviously Brentford did beat you earlier in the season. Do you feel that you can go to the Brentford Community Stadium and win?
I do, but I do have a lot of respect for Brentford. I love what they've done as a club, the way they have that whole statistical analysis and the way that they sign players. It was really pleasing to see them to come up as well. Obviously, having sold their best players year after year and just kept replacing them. It's not going to be an easy game, but I do fancy a Wolves win.
Yeah, what you said?
I've got to go typical Wolves 1-0.
1-0.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to it. We're gonna go back to our typical result of not conceding and getting a goal.
Yeah, I don't think Brentford are going down. I've seen a few people saying that they're concerned about Brentford, but I look at Brentford and they're better than Burnley, they're better than Norwich, and they're certainly better than Newcastle. I don't see them getting dragged into this. I'm going to go for a Wolves win. I've actually gone 2-0 Wolves. I think you'll go there, and I think you'll get a couple of goals. I don't think obviously they conceded 3 against Liverpool last week as well, but Brentford are a good side, and I don't think they'll get dragged into it. I honestly don't. But one thing I can say about Brentford, it looks like you may be signing Christian Eriksen, which would be very interesting. Yeah. I think that's the Danish connection, though. Thomas Frank, Matthias Jorgensen. Who else is Danish? Jonas Lussel as well. There's a few Danes, Norgard in there as well. So I think it could be very, very interesting as well. So let's see what some of you are saying about Brentford Wolves. Brentford 1, Wolves 2. Interesting game. Yeah, absolutely. Brian Marcy says Norwich and Burnley are gone. The rest depends on what Newcastle do, in my opinion. Very interesting. Finlay going for a 2-2 draw. Liz Golden is saying, my husband is a Wolves fan too. Top 10 is a real possibility. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Harrison Crane says, I'm out 6:16 a.m. Have work at 7:30 a.m. See you guys later. Brentford 1, Wolves 1. Harrison, thank you very much for tuning in. If you get obviously chance to watch the repeat, then obviously leave your predictions after the stream as well. Mr. Owen Thomas, good evening, sir. How are you? Wolves are doing great. Wolves are doing absolutely fantastic. And Brentford 0, Wolves 2. I would agree. Since Lars came in, Jimenez came back from injury. Everything seems to be gelling again. Cody's playing well in defence. You've missed somebody out, though, I must admit. Max Kilman.
Yeah, has to play for England. I don't see... At first, I thought I was being a biased Wolves fan, but the more I watch him, I don't think he can be missed out. I really don't. I really do think he needs to play for England.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's go 2-1 Wolves. Interesting. Like just sub to your channel, Sweet&Sour, Chris. There you go.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
No, not a problem. Brentford 1, Wolves 2. This is the question I think every Wolves fan has been asked. Do you think Wolves sell Adama this summer or January?
100% yes, we will sell him. He is going at some point. I think, given the timing of the window now, I think from what I've heard, we've obviously got Neto to come back in February. I think they're going to keep hold of him till the summer. Obviously, once Neto's back up and firing, that might take a little bit of time. He's going to be surplus to requirements. He's already on the bench. He's rejected contract for the last 15 months. And that's not going to change. I think someone somewhere, whether that be a Spurs, a Liverpool, and a Barcelona, will pay him the 120 grand a week he wants. For us, he's become our best paid player. He hasn't warranted it, but someone somewhere will pay him what he wants. And good luck to him, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. If you were in charge of Wolves, how much would you want for Adama Traore, assuming he's not priceless? That's a good question, Owen.
Oh, I like that. Well, you've got to consider that he's got 18 months left on his contract. So I've seen 20 million being talked about. Some Wolves fans haven't said that's a fair value. I actually think it is a pretty fair value. He's not starting for us. His attitude at times, he's lacked a little bit as well. And with 18 months left on his contract, I think we'll get 20 million for him now, or we'll get 15 million for him in the summer. I'd still rather take the 15 million in the summer, get Pedro Neto back, make sure he's fit, he's recovered well from his ACL. Get that Chiquinho that we've just signed some experience, whether that be with us or on loan, and then let him go on his way when it suits us, even if it is for less than we signed him.
Yeah, very good question. Should be great atmosphere. Goodison 2-2, says Brian. Interesting. It's a tough game, this 2-2. No, if they do, though, I think to Everton. Hello to Jamie Phillips. Thank you for tuning in. Everton fans had a sit-in protest to get Martinez sacked. Awkward, that. Yeah. I know, absolutely.
I think they're doing a sit-in protest at the weekend as well, actually, Doug.
Yeah, I did see that. I was shocked Wolves beat Southampton 3-1. I was expecting 1-0 Wolves or 1-1. I was just saying that.
Yeah, I can't blame. I mean, it's a typical score for us, isn't it? We don't score 3. We usually score 1, and it just depends if we concede 1 or not.
Yeah, absolutely. 2-2, tough game for me. Ericsson buying Tony and Mbwep. Yeah, that'll be very, very good for sure. Brentford to go at Manchester United. The fragile, says Karoom. Yes, I would absolutely agree with that. Fair play to Bruno Lage, job he's doing. He's been fantastic. Really, really fantastic for Wolves. I didn't know. Conte wants him. You're not going to sell to a rival, right? I don't see him going to Spurs. He doesn't really strike me as a Conte kind of player.
Well, apparently that he wants to do a Victor Moses on him and play him right wing back. If that's the case, I really hope we do sell him to Spurs, because the guy doesn't like to do anything defensively. Anytime he loses the ball, he usually falls over and there's not much effort to get the ball back. I mean, look, if Spurs want to use him as a right wing back, give him away, because it'll only be a bad thing for them.
Yeah, definitely. There was doubts about Wolves' start of the season. Always thought they'd be fine. Yeah, I always said they'd be fine as well. Hello to Fibbles, that is what I want. Thank you for tuning in. Evening, gents and ladies. Hello to Eldon Chicken Man. Guys, if you are enjoying the stream, please remember to hit that like button, and obviously subscribe to the channel, and obviously subscribe to Sweet&Sour Soccer, doing fantastic stuff as well. Podence looks good. Yeah, Podence is a very, very good player as well. Somebody I haven't actually mentioned, though. Have you been very impressed with the impact Jose Sa has had in the Wolves team, coming in to replace a very good goalkeeper and obviously Rui Patricio, but he has taken that Wolves jersey and made it his own. I think is it 9 clean sheets he's had this season so far?
Yeah, he's been brilliant. And to be honest, when we signed him, it was basically exchanging the Portugal #1 for the Portugal #3. But it's very closely contested, and it wouldn't surprise me if he has now himself up to that #1 spot. He's been absolutely superb. And you just see him in training videos and stuff. He's one hell of a character. You could already tell the rest of the squad have warmed to him. He's always pictured like having a laugh with them and stuff. It's just very pleasing to see. Just turned 29 actually this week. So as a goalkeeper, you've still got 4 or 5 years. It was a very good business in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Helen, I'll say that on in the stream later. I did hear about Peter Robinson, so obviously rest in peace for sure. Yes, I know we are going to move swiftly on as well, and Leeds United. A lot of people said that they were in trouble a couple of weeks back, but back-to-back wins, and I have to say the West Ham game was an absolutely amazing game of football. They come up against a Newcastle United side.
Yeah.
I have to say, looking at this game, I can only see one winner in this. Newcastle don't they seem devoid of ideas. They need to get more new players in. They've obviously got Chris Wood in, which is very, very funny. How do you see this one going?
Well, I think it was one of them. Everyone's starting to get, everyone except Leeds fans, I should say, were starting to get on the back of Leeds, starting to actually question Bielsa. I think you had to kind of bear in mind the injuries they've had and still have. It's been absolutely terrible for them playing 15-year-olds. Most of their bench is full of kids. They've done everything they can to get the games on, so fair play to them on that. And yeah. I'll back at Leeds win. I really do think so. And it's Leeds, so they're probably going to concede. I'm actually going to copy Liz. I've just seen Liz's comment, and that was going to be my scoreline. I'm going to go Leeds 3-1.
3-1. Yeah, the moment you just said that, I've actually gone 2-0 Leeds. I think they'll keep a clean sheet. I have not been impressed. I know. Obviously, Newcastle still got. I know Newcastle have obviously got St. Maximan, Chris. I still can't believe they got Chris Wood anyway. But yeah, I can only see Leeds win. I think those back-to-back wins were absolutely crucial. Against Burnley, they played really, really well. Against West Ham, they are out of the cup. But to get a league win was very, very important. And I think it's kind of stretched them ever so closer to safety. But yeah, they've definitely been hit by second season syndrome for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think interesting one actually with this whole, it's been spoke about, hasn't it, Newcastle and the Chris Wood transfer. What's your opinion on that, Doug? Because I feel like, for me, 25 million is a hell of a lot of money, but then if that's the difference between relegating Burnley instead of Newcastle, then they've practically gained 75 million from that deal, because it's reportedly you lose about 100 million, don't you, in TV rights when you go down.
Yeah, I have to say I was taken aback by it all. Look, there's a release clause is a release clause for a reason. You put that in so that somebody comes in and you're powerless if they come in, and obviously Newcastle came in, but yeah, it's to weaken Burnley. It's definitely to weaken Burnley. I've just seen a comment that's made me chuckle. Apparently Ronaldo wants to leave United for a better chance to win trophies. Could he pitch up at Molineux?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we seem to sign every Portuguese player, so why not? But well, actually, I mean, I was going to say, would you want Ronaldo? Of course, you would want Ronaldo. Maybe Wolves to sign Ronaldo would be a ridiculous signing. But my angle from that is wherever he seems to have gone at the moment, like wherever he's left, everyone's just kind of, like Juve was saying, that like everything changed. We went from a Nick team mentality to it being all about Ronaldo. He got preferential treatment, and already we're hearing like the exact same come out of United, and he's only been there half a season. Look, if you get the opportunity to sign Ronaldo, you obviously wouldn't turn it down, but you do have to question, is he actually best for what the team are doing? For example, if Man City had have signed him like they were originally going to, would they still be in the position they are in now, or would more emphasis been put on the Ronaldo show and not the team collective?
That is very, very true. That is very, very true. Leeds 3-1. So let's go with Scott there. Leeds 4, Newcastle 1. Interesting.
Nobody else to score that.
Leeds 1, Newcastle 0. Yes, gone for Leeds clean sheet, even though their legs more open than. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's funny.
I love how you read that partly, Doug, and then just thought, right, I better not finish it.
Leeds 2, Newcastle 0. Gives people heart attack. Leeds keeping clean sheet in a good way. Yep, absolutely. 1-1 draw. Leeds are the most unpredictable team in the league. No idea. 3-0. 3-0. Wow, you did say most unpredictable, but yeah, definitely. I thought Burnley were down anyway with Wood. Yeah, I did as well. Apparently Egypt have just scored. So they're 1-0 up against Sudan. I'll check in a wee minute who's scored. Cornet only one scoring for Burnley. Yeah, absolutely. Are Burnley going to sign Andy Carroll? It'd be the most Sean Dyche thing to get an out-and-out replacement for Chris Wood for Andy Carroll. Look, Andy Carroll is doing well at Reading, but I don't think he's that kind of. I don't think he'll be be going to Burnley. I don't see it. Scott, do you see Carroll ending up in Burnley? I can't see it somehow.
I mean, apparently he's had a couple of Premier League offers, but like I think the thing is with Andy Carroll, you won't want him as your primary striker. He's done kind of okay with Reading and the Championship, but I think he's well past the Premier League quality. I believe that Burnley have had an offer that if they did buy Benteke for 12 million, now that would be a rip-off considering the age of him, but you've kind of got to think what is Chris Wood's actually worth realistically, maybe about 15 million. So, you know, I'd rather spend 12 million on Benteke than I would getting Andy Carroll in on
Yes, I would agree. Andy Carroll talked about desperate measures. Yeah, absolutely. Pure unadulterated Sean Dyche. He's a free agent. Is he a free agent? I didn't know. Oh, he must have been at Reading on a short-term deal. That must be.
Yes.
They must have let him go then. That's very interesting.
January, wasn't it? End of Jan. I think it might have been end of Jan. It comes to an end.
Yeah, I think so. Carroll, striker you want if need goal or bench to get a winner. Yeah, absolutely. Would Dyche walk away from Burnley having sold? No, I don't. I think Sean Dyche has got a job for life at Burnley. I don't see him going. I really don't see him going. I think if he leaves Burnley, they're gone anyway. I just think this is the season that Burnley are going down. We will get to Burnley because they do have 5 games in hand coming up, which is really interesting. But the next game, they're obviously playing at Brentford, but against Aston Villa, they were 2-0 up, absolutely cruising, and hit the self-destruct button. And it was a 2-2 draw. Manchester United against West Ham. West Ham lost by 3-2 against Leeds United. But I must say, I've been very impressed with West Ham. They've had some scalps this season. Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City. They've won at Old Trafford already this season. I know it was obviously in the cup as well. This is a really hard one to call because Manchester United playing Brentford tonight. You'd expect a response from Manchester United, wouldn't you? But I honestly don't. I honestly don't see. I cannot separate these two. I've actually gone for a 1-1 draw. I actually think this could be a very, very good game. Very good one. I think it's a 3 o'clock kickoff anyway. But I look at these two teams. West Ham are playing really, really well.
Yeah.
Man United are, scraping results. They were lucky against Aston Villa. They could have lost that game. How do you see this one going?
To be honest, Doug, I'm actually going to replicate you if that's allowed in the predictions. I am going to go for a straight 1-1. That was going to be
1-1
my prediction because I do, as you say, I do feel West Ham are a little weak defensively with their injuries, so I do think they'll concede. But I don't think Man United keep a clean sheet at the moment. I think they've potentially changing formation, aren't they, tonight? I don't know if they actually have, but they're apparently going to go for a 4-3-3. Changing from Ranić's original plan. I don't think the fans have warmed to him. I more think the players haven't really warmed to him and are questioning what he's trying to bring in. I think the fact that he's only there until the end of the season before going to like not a back office role, but you get what I mean, going behind the scenes, isn't he? Like, I think it's going to be a bit of a disaster of a season for United, and I can't see them getting the win against West Ham. Especially with a hostile United crowd. It's not a United crowd that's full of joy at the moment, especially if West Ham get an early goal. It could be a self-destruct, and I've seen like a couple of people are saying a West Ham win. I think if West Ham do get the first goal, then it could go that way. I really do.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Shane O'Donnell going for a 2-0 win to West Ham. That could be very interesting. Chris West going for Man United win. Interesting. Listen here, Cedric. I can see West Ham winning at Old Trafford 2-1 West Ham. Man United 2, West Ham 2. Yeah, I think it has draw written all over it actually. 3-2 West Ham. That would be some game actually. 2-1 West Ham. Evening Sebastian. Thank you for tuning in. West Ham in 4th this season. The last season giving me 2014-15 Southampton and 2015-16 vibes. Who else agrees? Yeah, West Ham have been excellent. They're in the Europa League as well. They're awaiting their next round opponents. They've obviously changed the Europa League this season. They seem to have basically got the teams falling from the Champions League and drawn I think the group winners, and then I think they're just waiting on West. It is weird, very very weird. Anyway, I went to see Rangnick ball. Yeah, me too. Me too. Thinking on the same wavelength. I think that's about 2-1. West Ham. Man United 1, West Ham 2, says Reese. Unfortunately, yeah, West Ham are playing really good football. I hope West Ham win, as I hate Man United. I think that's absolutely in agreement, and Chris being in agreement as well. Rangnick knows the players won't buy into his plans. They're just treading water. Yeah, if I was a United fan, which I'm obviously not, Scott, would you rather miss out on the? I don't think they're going to get the Champions League anyway, but miss out on the Europa League, but miss out on the Conference League, and maybe just go a season without Europe? And do you think that would help them?
I think you've probably got to look at what's happening to Arsenal this year. They've only had one thing to focus on. That's become even more apparent now they're out of the FA Cup. Okay, obviously they've still got the League Cup, but in terms of Europe, they haven't had that to focus on. And people will dispute it, but I see like a team and a cohesion coming together, and I really do think they could push for the top 4 this season. I think there is some benefit from it, not having those fixtures, and I think further down the line that will probably giving them advantage to the teams such as West Ham, Man United, especially when fixture congestion and this year is becoming more of a thing. I feel that if they don't get Europa, I feel they'll rather miss out than go into the Conference League because I just don't think anyone really buys that as much of a league at the moment. The only benefit would be you'd be able to give the kids a bit of a chance in it, maybe. Obviously, Spurs tried that and got knocked out of it, but maybe it would help some of the youngsters. Trying to think, maybe, well, Greenwood starting, but maybe Greenwood gets in some, trying to think someone else, Amad Diallo, like those kind of players get a bit of game time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Hang on a minute.
Listen, agree with my Arsenal top 4 comment.
Maybe Moyes can get Rangnick. No, Rangnick's an interim manager. He'll be there until the summer, and then he moves upstairs. Top 4 score. Scott, you're a joker. Tottenham might have 4th mainly down to Conte. Yeah. You don't want to get on the wrong side of Conte. If Man United game is Super 6 Saturday, I'll be going for a 2-1, says Helen. I think it might be. Anyway. We'll move on. We've got one more game on Saturday, and then we have 4 on Sunday, which is very interesting. Southampton against Manchester City. Now, you were obviously watched Wolves Southampton. What was your reaction to James Ward-Prowse's amazing free kick? It has to be said.
It's one of them where you literally just could not. It happened to the opposite end to me, but it was one of them where sometimes you score a goal goes in, and you can't be angry. Like your natural reaction usually is to blame a defender, blame a keeper as a football fan, just blame someone or complain about something. It was just one of them that you just go as a football fan go. Yeah, that was a pretty good goal. And I think at the time it made it 2-1. So I think straight away the nerves kicked in a little bit. Are they going to turn this around? And they had a chance to turn it around as well. But God, that was one of those goals that you just kind of, although it was the opposition, you were like, it's a pleasure just to be in the ground and see it, to be honest.
Yeah, it was just absolutely amazing. Is he the best dead ball specialist in the Premier League at this moment?
I think he is. I think when you also consider, not just his free kick goal scoring ability, it's the balls he plays in from corners as well. I mean, I remember watching those throughout the game, and they were always just spot on. They were causing troubles. Been debates over whether he should be in the England squad. I get both arguments because I don't think he's perhaps a complete midfielder outside of his set pieces, but if you've got 50, take the Italy game. If you needed a goal in those 15 minutes, or you know that set pieces are going to be a thing, I probably would have stuck Ward-Prowse on.
Yeah, it's fantastic. By the way, guys, honestly, I honestly encourage you to go and watch. I think there's a montage of his free kicks in the Premier League. Go and watch them. They're just stunning, absolutely stunning. And obviously the Wolves one for me is just the top of the lot as well. But at least you managed to win the game anyway. But this game, Can Southampton derail City? I mean, they've done it before. But I think you have to go for a City win in this one. I'm going 2-0 City. I just can't see anybody derailing Man City at the moment.
Yeah, I completely agree. Obviously now is it 9 points? Like 9 points clear.
Yeah.
Is it more than that now? I think it's 9, isn't it? 9 points
11.
clear.
I think it's 11, maybe.
I
could be completely wrong.
Feel right. Yeah, they are that, and it's just one of them. I feel that you can't look past City, can you? I mean, my prediction's going to be Southampton 0, Manchester City 3. I think
3.
They've just been absolutely unreal. They're benefiting from having basically 2 squads, which could be a first 11 and not just a first 11, a Premier League winning first 11.
Yeah.
Look, I'd love to see Manchester City's first 11 and Manchester City's second 11 in the league against each other, because that would probably be the best contest for, Manchester City at the moment, to be honest. Yeah, you can't look further than a City win, can you?
No, but come on, Saints, obviously. For my way. Southampton and Man City 2, so agree with me. Thank you, Liz. I'll maybe see you for the Crystal Palace preview, 9 o'clock. So I'll probably see you there. Oh dear, Saints 0, City 4. I don't think it'll be 4-0. I honestly don't see it being 4-0. Southampton 1, Man City 3. I expect City to be too much for Southampton, but Southampton ruin people's bets every time. I predict Southampton to lose, they end up winning.
I can feel the pain in that from Chris. I'm guessing Southampton has ruined a few of his coupons.
Unpredictable team to predict, for sure. Without WordPress, Southampton would be in a relegation battle. I think they would be, but the thing is, Southampton, for me, this is why Hasenhüttl is a very good manager. He gets the best out of that squad, and one player in particular has really impressed me. I can't remember, is it Livramento, the left back? I think he's been excellent this season as well. WordPress, my favourite player, say the Big Six, love him. Yeah, I think he's been excellent. It's criminal how WordPress not in England's squad. Yep. 6-0 City. I hope that is not 6-0.
I'm sure
11 points clear.
I hope it's not either.
No, definitely not. Yeah. City will only get 1 trophy this season. That's the Prem. Man City never had games postponed. I wonder why. 2-0 City. In my dreams, 5-0 Southampton. Wow, that'd be interesting. If it's 4-0, you have to do a forfeit. Okay. Oh, interesting. DM me the forfeit. Okay. Hasenhüttl is so underrated as well. Wouldn't rule out Hasenhüttl to Everton in the summer. Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, we'll move on to the Sunday games. And will this game go ahead? Arsenal against Burnley. What do we think? I
mean, is it even worth doing a prediction for this one, Doug? I think maybe we should predict which team's going to call it off instead. Well, apparently, obviously, I think it's Odegaard, Saka, and there was one more player back in training for Arsenal today, so they shouldn't struggle. Burnley have to play it because it's just getting to the point now. Burnley are just calling off guys because they haven't equipped themselves with a proper squad. At some point you've just got to go, this isn't COVID related. Get your under 23s out there and start getting the games going. But I think Burnley have to play this one, because if they call this one off, the fixture congestion, it's only going to ruin them, isn't it, further on down the line?
Yeah.
I see this one going ahead. I think it'll be, I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal.
That doesn't surprise me, because James has called you a closet Arsenal fan.
Yeah, it's a running joke on our channel, but I'm a closet Arsenal fan. Yeah.
So 3-0. I've gone 2-0. Very interesting. I don't know if anyone has seen this, but I have a wee article from One Football. I don't know if anyone has seen this, but the Football Association have launched an investigation into a yellow card received by an Arsenal player this season. That comes after the unnamed player received a booking during the Premier League fixture, which had an unusual amount of money placed on it, according to The Athletic. Same report claims that bookmakers flagged the incident with the FA after noticing that the pattern of betting and the amount stake were both suspicious and highly unusual. The FA is aware of the matter in question and are looking into it. Players have been issued with these suspicions in the past after being found guilty of manipulating games for betting purposes. In 2018, Lincoln City defender Bradley Wood was handed a 6-year ban for intentionally receiving yellow cards. Now, I have seen a few murmurs that it is Granit Xhaka. Does that surprise anybody? Doesn't surprise me. And I'm guessing it doesn't surprise you either.
I mean, look, if someone's put a bet on for Granit Xhaka to get a yellow card, I wouldn't be investigating that. I'd just be saying it's a smart bet. Obviously, be interested to see how much the bets have been placed, how much, how unusual it must be, because I'm sure that must be a regular bet on the coupon in general for Granit Xhaka to get a yellow card. I presume that's quite a regular bet for those that like betting on that market. But I mean, look, what does Granit Xhaka get paid? It's got to be at least 50,000 a week, you'd think, at Arsenal, if not more.
Must be.
So is he going to do something like that? I think the lad that you've just mentioned, obviously, would have been, a League One player, probably on £1,000 or two a week. If he gets offered 150 grand to pick up a yellow card, he's going to go, cheers, thank you. Granit Xhaka gets offered that. He's going to go, well, what's that? A couple of weeks' wages? I don't see it myself.
Yeah, I honestly don't see it. But obviously, the FA have obviously seen something, and they're investigating. I'm going 2-0 Arsenal. I can't see Burnley winning this. I cannot see Burnley winning this. I know they did last season, but not this season. Anyway, sorry. Chris, I hope not. I hope not, but it might actually happen. Shane's saying 2-0 Arsenal. No, Bale's postpone it. Arsenal 2, Burnley 1. Rather have points on the board than rely on games in hand. That's a very good point. That is a very good point. Let me guess, Xhaka. Yeah, I think so. Nope. I'm pretending to be shocked with Xhaka. If there was a car crash, he was clearly driving the car. Yeah, not in the slightest. Nope. Least suspicious bet of all time. Yeah, oh, that is a very, very good comment, Brian. Absolutely. 3-0 Arsenal, says Brian Morrissey. Dan Milne, thank you for tuning in. He's going 1-0 to Arsenal. Very, very interesting. So we'll move on to the game that is on Sky Sports on Sunday. It's Crystal Palace against Liverpool. Liverpool have won the last 5 meetings, and it won't be surprising to know that they actually won 7-0 last season against Crystal Palace. But no Salah, no Mane, no Keita. Do you think this is the best time for Crystal Palace to play Liverpool?
I think most definitely. And this is a different Crystal Palace team, isn't it, as well, to years gone by. The Patrick Vieira, I doubted him. He's done absolutely brilliant, to be honest. They've got a much younger team, a quite exciting team to watch. And as you say, if there's a time to play Liverpool, it's going to be when Mane, Salah, it's Keita. Keita's also gone, hasn't he? You got to want to play him when those players aren't available.
Yeah, what are you going for this one?
I don't know, because I feel Liverpool have got to win this one. I mean, some would argue the title race is already gone. I'd probably agree with them. I'm going to go for a narrow 2-1 Liverpool win.
But that's exactly what I've gone as well. Yeah.
There's something in my head telling me that Palace might sneak a draw in this. I really do think so. But I think Liverpool have got to win this, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. There has been a goal at the King Power, apparently. Leicester 1-0 Daka. Daka has scored for Leicester, so it's 1-0 to them against Tottenham. Interesting. Yeah, Shane's going for 2-1 Liverpool as well. Chris Welsh is going for 2-0 Liverpool. Yes, I agree. Although Elliott is in team training, this game is too soon for him. Yeah, it'll be far, far too soon for him, for sure. Probably the Cardiff game, I would think. Probably the FA Cup game. Anyway, hang on a minute. Screenboy 8, I haven't seen you around for a wee while. Going 3-2 Arsenal. Very interesting. I don't think it'll be that scoreline, but you never know. Gallagher, Elise, and Eze, all very good players. Yeah, Conor Gallagher. I'll obviously be talking about that at 9 o'clock. But Conor Gallagher, fantastic signing for Crystal Palace. He's been excellent as well. 2-1 LFC. Yep. I'm dreading this game. Always dread going away to Palace. They're one of the best home fans out there. Always make it tough. Yeah, Palace are fantastic. Fantastic for sure. Yeah, awesome. Thank you for tuning in, Screen Boy. It's been a while. It has been a while as well. They have obviously just taken the lead. Oh, and there was one last comment there. I fear a draw too, but I hope for a narrow win. Yeah, absolutely. No, I think Palace is doing well under their manager. I think a little club called Liverpool will win 4-0. Little club, Cedric. I like your way of words there. I do really like your way of words. We'll come on to Leicester City against Brighton. Obviously, Leicester City still playing against Tottenham. They are 1-0 up through that goal for Patson Daka. Brighton got their 11th draw against Chelsea last night, drawing by 1-1. It was as well. Very good finish by Adam Webster. Not bad for a centre back that goal as well. This is a tough one because you can never predict against Brighton. I really don't know what to predict in this one. What are you going for in this one?
I completely agree with you on that, and you also can't predict Leicester, can you? At the moment, wins, draws, losses, all over the place. It's just there's no consistency with either of them. You mentioned Brighton had just got, was it their 11th draw of the season?
Yeah, they're draw specialists.
I feel it might be the 12th. I really do. I've got to go 2-2. This is going to be my outlet prediction.
Desmond.
Yeah, Brighton are going to have a bit of a buzz about them, aren't they? Obviously, after the draw against Chelsea yesterday. Leicester obviously playing tonight, currently winning. Might be two teams on a high and ready to score, but both teams have a little bit of a question around them, especially Leicester defensively.
Yeah. Oh, Chris. I don't ever want to put that on screen. Go on, then.
I thought it was going to be rude. That's just one of those clever puns. I like that.
Very good. I like it. To be fair, I would have probably said as well. Vieira's doing a great job. Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job as well. Leicester 2, Brighton 1. Another interesting game. Yep. Absolutely. 1892 Reds podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I am doing very well. Hope you guys are doing good. Cedric winded us up. Bad boy. Yep, absolutely. Leicester 2, Brighton 1. You've gone 2-2. I've actually gone 1-1. I can't separate them. Cannot separate them.
Draw.
Yeah, definitely. Leicester 1, Brighton 1. Yep, Helen. Yeah, just seen that. 2-1 Brighton. That wouldn't surprise me if a Brighton win either. Wouldn't surprise me. Saw Brighton yesterday, impressed. Brighton win 2-1. Interesting. I think Brighton will give Leicester a very good game, 2-0 to Brighton as well. And this is the fourth meeting in the last 3 weeks between these two. Chelsea against Tottenham. Chelsea's form recently in the Premier League has been woeful.
Yeah.
1 win, 1 defeat, and four draws in there. And 2 of them were against Brighton. 1 was against Liverpool. And I think the other one was against Everton. And the defeat came obviously against Manchester City. And their win, I think, was a 3-2 against Leeds. Chelsea, they're struggling, but what have you made of Chelsea recently? I think they are struggling. I really do.
Yeah, it's an interesting one actually. I have a mate who's a Chelsea fan who was basically complaining about the fact that they've had to play Aspilicueta, who's 32. They'll have to play Alonso, and I thought, but you've got the most players out of anyone to choose from. You've got 30 odd players out on loan. You've got no right to be complaining about fixture congestion because you've got about 50 players to choose from. If you didn't send them out all on loan and stuff, they should be the ones suffering the least from this. But they do seem to be suffering. They really do. And what a perfect time it would have been to have a player like Conor Gallagher, for example, in these times, and you've sent him out on loan. You've got that striker out on loan at Southampton. So it's not like these are just young players that are getting sent out on loan that aren't Premier League standard. So I have no sympathy for them in terms of that. But they have looked shaky, haven't they? Tuchel definitely needs to regroup and maybe try something new because they're becoming a bit predictable. The whole Lukaku saga hasn't probably helped. Some people say they're better off without Lukaku. I think there's certain games where that's true. I feel like this one might be a game where that is a true statement, though.
Yeah, I mean, all's not well at Chelsea. Last night, I think they scored. Ziyech scored against Brighton. None of them celebrated. They weren't celebrating. I think there was arguing amongst the players as well for the Brighton goal. I asked the question on Twitter, and honestly, I think this is a very serious question. Could Chelsea sack Tuchel?
I think it's still a bit early. Because when you actually look you look at the points that they've got on the board, 44 points, isn't it, after 23 games? Obviously, only 1 point behind Liverpool. Yes, they have got a couple of games in hand, Liverpool, but without Manchester City's dominance, they're still in a title race, aren't they? And Manchester City have won so many on the bounce, we've all lost count now. I just feel that he's not doing that bad a job that it warrants getting rid of him. But it is a fair question.
Yeah, I think as well. Tottenham, they're obviously playing. Leicester at the moment. Their game against Arsenal was postponed. They were very angry about that as well. But they did lose 1-0 to Chelsea at home. What have you made of Tottenham under Conte?
They're definitely better. They've definitely improved on what they were under Nuno. They've got a bit more of a pattern about them, a bit more of an identity. But having said that, there's a lot of deadwood in Tottenham. But this transfer window has been terrible for them so far. It really has. They haven't been able to ship out Dele Alli. They haven't been able to ship out the likes of Tanganga that they wanted to. And I thought Tanganga might have been one that someone like a West Ham or even us, Wolves, who need a centre-back, might have gambled on and took him in, seeing if we could do anything with him for a cheap price. But it hasn't happened. They haven't been able to ship anyone out. They haven't brought anyone in. You wonder whether Conte is going to last much longer without, receiving funds, because he wouldn't have come into Tottenham if they promised him absolutely nothing in January. They're in a bit of a mess like Chelsea.
I would agree. I would definitely agree. Obviously, Levy not backing Conte. Look, the one person you don't try and not back was Antonio Conte, because we've seen at Inter he wasn't backed. He obviously walked away from them. Could he be doing the same at Tottenham? I think it's still way too early as well. But this is a really hard game, because Chelsea at home, their home form is really worrying for me. That's why I'm going a 1-1 draw. Now, if this was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I would have probably said a 1-0 Chelsea win, but I'm going 1-1.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting one, isn't it? This game, Doug, because I think Chelsea-Tottenham is usually one of them, obviously regarded as a derby, quite fiery as well. You think back to the time where Spurs were in that title chase with Leicester, wasn't it? Where that was just one where the game they lost their head. And it hasn't been the first time that this has just ended into a complete, well, not bloodbath, but more of a brawl, than a football game. I don't see it happening with Conte and Tuchel, though. I think this will be a bit more of a tactical, flat game, probably not the game that we all want to see. And I do think it's either got a 1-0 or a 1-1 written over it, either way. I am going to go different to you, and I am going to go 1-0 Chelsea.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Spurs there.
And I had to decide. I nearly did. I had to decide that on the spot, because I'm still not sure.
It's a tough one to call.
Yeah.
It's a tough. Yeah. As I said, if this was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think Chelsea win this game comfortably against Tottenham. But Chelsea's home form has been, I think, four out of the last 6 games have been draws, and they've all been at home as well. So it's a very, very tricky one to call. So guys, get your predictions in for this one. I think this is a very tricky one to call. Chris Ross gone for 2-1 Chelsea. That's a screen by 8. Tuchel to be sacked at the end of the season. We just spoke about that. Maybe too soon. Chelsea 2, Tottenham 2. Very interesting. Only if they win Premier League or Champions League or don't win both League Cup and FA Cup. Winning one of League Cup or FA Cup shouldn't be enough for them, 100%, and especially under Roman Abramovich. Chelsea are sliding down, dropping points. Lukaku not in the team. Werner and Havertz all not scoring. Nope, absolutely not. 1-1 draw, so everyone seems to be agreeing with me for that. Chelsea can't complain. They have two teams like Manchester City. Yeah. Absolutely. Another boring draw for Chelsea. 1-1. Lukaku is awful. Let's be honest. Yeah. Yes. Potter should be the top of the list for every club outside the top few for next manager. Graham Potter's a great manager. He is really, really good manager. I agree. Potter's a very good manager. Yes. No, I don't think so. Oh, this is I think that's about Tuchel being sacked. Question.
Yeah.
Chelsea Spurs looks like two teams cancelling each other out to me. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Don't think so, not yet. If they don't get Champions League, I agree, Brian. Lots, and then he's gone Spursy. Spurs without Son, not good. Oh, yeah, that's right. Son's out. That's a massive blow for them.
I'm happy with my prediction now, 1-0.
Of course, they could sack him. That's how Chelsea deal with things. Player power is strong there. Ever since Terry and Abramovich were best mates.
Who do you bring in? No, that's the thing. I don't see anyone screaming out to be brought in. There's not really a great deal of great managerial candidates out there and available at the moment. Is there? I think they'll stick with Tuchel. I really do.
Yeah, I do as well. I cannot see Spurs getting top four, and Chelsea struggling at the moment. West Ham still going great guns. I think Arsenal will fight out for the last place. Chelsea and Spurs to miss out. If Chelsea miss out on top four, I think that's probably bye Tuchel, but we'll see. Kane have a nightmare this season. Yep. O'Brien just cleared Højbjerg open net, finish off the line. Wow. Leicester living dangerously as well. Brian Morrissey going Chelsea 1-0 and a Rudiger winner. That would not surprise me one bit. Lukaku should have stayed at Inter, 100%. Kane has equal.
That's in the live game. I thought that was the prediction for the weekend. He's actually, Chris just needs to keep saying that Kane's having a dreadful season. Probably the Spurs fans will love him by the looks of it.
God. I can't believe that just happened. He just said Kane having nightmare this season, and then Kane has just literally just equalised. Jesus. After I said Kane having nightmare. Tottenham just scored. Yeah. Oof. Wow, indeed. Scott, it's been an absolute pleasure to finally get you on the channel. It feels like I've been trying to get you on for absolutely ages, because I obviously had James on quite recently as well. But tell us a little bit about Sweet&Sour, because you guys are doing excellently at the moment, and a lot of transfer stuff as well.
Yeah, so we're similar to you, Doug. We're obviously a neutral channel. At the moment, we're just doing pretty much sticking to the transfer market, 5 minutes, bite-sized videos, at least getting out one a day from both me and James of what's going on, the rumours that are going on in the transfer market, the confirmed transfers, bite-sized videos to watch. And yeah, we just do a lot of general football stuff, really, about different things, just monitor what's going on, managerial sackings, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, if that's your kind of thing, guys, please do head over and subscribe.
Yeah, absolutely. Will there be a watch along at the weekend for the Brentford game?
Yes, we are. And I think for the first time in a long time, I think it might be myself and James. Usually we just... James lives in Indonesia, so he always has a privilege of being able to watch the 3 o'clock Saturday kickoffs and do that as a live stream. But I think I might join him. On that one at the weekend.
I look forward to that. Once Kane went through on goal there, I went FFS before he even scored. It's like Kane secretly watching this channel. That's very funny. Here's an interesting question. Have you been mistaken for Gary Neville?
Do you know what? I haven't. I usually have a bit more of a beard than this. I only shaved it yesterday. Not too much of a one. But I always get joked about me looking a little bit about like João Moutinho. I've had that before. And the former Wolves player, Matt Jarvis. Matt Jarvis one was a little bit more accurate. I don't see the Moutinho one on myself. I think it's more of just when I've got a bit more of a black beard. I think people just say Yeah, I don't see
Yeah,
it.
I don't see the Jeremy Coutinho one. To be honest, I can see the Matt Jarvis one. I can see the
Yeah,
Matt
yeah.
Jarvis one, but yeah, definitely.
I
My
like
point
his
still
Christmas
stands.
comment. I mean, that one's good as well, but that one.
Absolutely, guys. Please go over and subscribe to Sweet and Sour Soccer. As I said, they're doing a lot of transfer business as well, and obviously you will get watch-alongs on there as well. Definitely, and yeah, Chris Ross saying agreed. He says, yeah, definitely, Matt Jarvis. Guys, I will be back in literally 50 minutes' time. I'm doing a Crystal Palace versus Liverpool match preview. Joining me, I have Ali from Pride of South London Fan TV and Steve from No Context Humour. So that should be really interesting as well. But yeah, guys, please go and subscribe to Sweet and Sour Soccer. As I have said countless of times, they're doing fantastic stuff over there. Obviously, I know you obviously swap between you for the videos. I have seen obviously you doing a few of them quite recently. James did one on, I think, on Suarez, I think it was.
Yeah. So James had a little bit of a problem last week in his wisdom tooth, which has now been pulled out, and he's back to doing 50% of the work, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, guys, I will be back very soon. So obviously, join me at 9 o'clock for the Crystal Palace versus Liverpool match preview. But until then, from the both of us, it is goodbye, and I'll see you very soon.